I went to sleep with gum in my mouth. Now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard. And by mistake, dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Dickinson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to be car sick. No one even answered. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of a sailboat, better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said Philip Parker was his best friend, and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey's bar with almonds, and Paul's mom gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to pack dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields only found a cavity in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, he said. Next week, I said, I'm moving to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot. And while we were waiting for my mom to get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for calling me a crybaby, that's when my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to get some sneakers. Anthony got blue ones with white stripes, Nick got white ones with red stripes, and I got blue ones with red stripes. But the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me get plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad up at his office, he said I couldn't play around with his copying machine. But I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk. And I was as careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said not to mess around with his phone. But I think I called Australia. My dad said, please do not pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marbles went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow. He said I could keep, and my Mickey Mouse nightlight burnt out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wanted to sleep with Anthony and not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says there's days like that, even in Australia.